Hello and welcome to Grape Expectations. So it's coming up to Christmas, so I sort of take the opportunity to talk to you a little bit about pairing red wine with your turkey dinner. So there are lots and lots of different options out there, so I'm going to talk about some of those and then maybe I'm going to give you some recommendations, one in particular that I think would be a really good choice. So the first recommendation that a lot of people talk about is Cabernet Sauvignon, especially from Bordeaux wines. But for my mind, unless you've got enough money and deep pockets to pay for a really aged Bordeaux, then I'm going to find them too tannic for my liking, and so I would steer clear of those. So if we're looking at something maybe a little bit lighter, you might want to consider a Pinot Noir, especially Burgundian Pinot Noir, to get that kind of earthiness in there. But again, it's going to be quite expensive. And yeah, the high acidity perhaps might be better suited to having it the meat when it's cold. The other choice might be a Beaujolais from the Gamay grape, again from the Burgundy region, and great choice. But again, quite high acidity, and again, I would maybe look at pairing that with cold meat, maybe the day after with cold turkey. One thing to mention about Beaujolais Nouveau, I would steer well clear of that. As far as I'm concerned, you might as well be drinking battery acid. So other choices then, really, the next obvious choice really is a Chateauneuf du Pape from the Southern Rhone there. Lovely wine, but again, to really get something decent, I think you've got to be spending in the region of £15–20 plus to get something really decent there. So the next step down from that is to maybe look at a Côte de Rhône Village, which is a step up from the bog standard Côte de Rhône. But I think you can probably do slightly better than that as well. So there's a couple of appellations around there in the Southern Rhone that perhaps you might not have heard of. So Resto is an up-and-coming one. So it's only really had its own appellation since 2010. So that's making some great wines there. You might start to see some of those coming into the supermarkets. But the one I really want to talk to you about today is Lirac. Okay. And so Lirac has been producing wines for an awfully long time, some of the oldest wine and vines out there in parts of France. But probably better known in some places for its rosé wines as opposed to its reds. But it's making reds now that can rival the Chateauneuf du Papes at a fraction of the price. And the reason why it can rival Chateauneuf du Pape is because of its location. So if you look at a map, you can see that Lirac is only 10 kilometers west of Chateauneuf du Pape. It's on the other side of the Rhône River there, and it has the same terroir, which is to say it's got the same sort of soil and conditions there. So Chateauneuf du Pape is famous for these weird stones and boulders that it grows in. Looks like nothing will ever grow there, and it's exactly the same in Lirac. The other thing that's similar is the grapes that are used there. So both Chateauneuf du Pape and Lirac, they're a blend of different types of grapes. So Chateauneuf du Pape, you can have up to 11 grapes in a bottle of Chateauneuf du Pape. And it tends to be things like Syrah, which is Shiraz, Grenache, Mourvèdre, Cinsault, Carignan, these type of grapes here. And it's exactly the same in Lirac as well. So you've got the same sort of grapes, the same sort of conditions. Therefore, as long as you've got a decent winemaker, you're producing very similar product. So yeah, I would say Lirac is a really nice choice. And just recently, both Aldi and Lidl had versions of Lirac, but unfortunately, they have limited quantities of it, and it's no longer available. So I found two Liracs that are readily available, both of them through Majestic Wine. And the first one I want to talk about is Chateau Bouchassy. It's a 2019. So yeah, it's a nice wine, and at $10.99, it's a bit of a steal, really. But if you want to go up another level, they have another Lirac there, which is the Rocodon Organic 2016. And 2016 was a fantastic vintage both in Châteauneuf-du-Pape and also within Lirac as well. And at $14.99 it's a great price for Lirac. So yeah, that for me is going to be my recommendation to you for your Christmas dinner. If you happen to go down that route, please let me know how you got on with it. I'd be really interested to see what you thought. Okay, so until the next time, it's goodbye from me. Take care.